What's up, DFS players? I hope for the sake of your bank account, you've been able to tail recently. We're 5 of our last 6, I believe. So we won this 2-pick entry, we lost this 2-pick entry, and then we just absolutely obliterated them the past few days. So regardless, I'm going to be taking you through my favorite player props for today on PrizePicks, all MLB. So again, quick recap. The way that PrizePicks works is any 2 player props you select, you're getting plus 200 odds, right? 2 player props plus 200 odds. It's really that simple. 20 to win 60 means 20 to win 40 in profit plus your $20 stake back. It doesn't matter what 2 picks you select. Whatever you want, you're getting plus 200 odds. So PrizePicks actually, bakes an insane amount of juice into their markets, tons more than the sportsbooks. But regardless, because they don't vary payouts depending on if you select the over or the under, there's a lot of opportunity. So the first player prop, MLB, that I found on PrizePicks, I actually found on the OddsJam arbitrage tool. So the arbitrage tool will show you, market inefficiencies where you can place bets on 2 sportsbooks. For example, Lucas over 5.5 strikeouts on DraftKings plus 110, Lucas under 5.5 strikeouts plus 100 on DraftKings. Due to discrepancies in bookmaker odds, you can make a risk-free profit. And here, there's an arbitrage bet between DraftKings and PrizePicks. Now, this isn't actually, a possible opportunity to make risk-free money. It's more an indication that there's a good bet. And what I mean by that is, on PrizePicks, you can't just bet on 1 player prop. You need at least 2 player props in your PrizePicks entry. However, this is a market inefficiency, so what it means is either, Tariq over 5.5 strikeouts on DraftKings is a good bet, or Tariq under 5.5 strikeouts is a profitable player prop on PrizePicks, right? Whenever you can make risk-free money sports betting or playing DFS, that means there's a market inefficiency. There has to be a profitable pick. So if we go over to the OddsJam Positive EV tool, we can see that the profitable, pick, it's slightly lower EV than, the past few days, but regardless, it's still quite profitable, is Tariq under 5.5 strikeouts. You can get this, at the implied price of minus 137 on PrizePicks. So we've gone through this in other videos, but essentially, because PrizePicks is giving you plus 200 odds on any 2-pick entry, you need to be hitting your props at a rate of 57.74% to break even. That's just to break even, right? So ideally, you're winning your player props on PrizePicks 60% of the time. That would make you a profitable DFS player on PrizePicks. So long story short, PrizePicks is this, DFS platform, essentially a parlay-only sportsbook where every odd is going to be minus 137 implied odds in your PrizePicks entry. And that's because any 2-pick entry is just giving you plus 200 odds. So regardless, on the OddsJam Positive EV tool, we can see 1.6% profit margin on the bottom row, Tariq under 5.5 strikeouts, minus 137 implied odds, right? So if we go ahead and we click in, to the market, you can see this is a huge pricing discrepancy, right? DraftKings has this all the way down at minus 195. Pinnacle Sportsbook right here, real-time odds from Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world. They're pricing this all the way down at minus 170. Caesars has this minus 193. So the sportsbooks are all heavily juicing Tariq's under 5.5 strikeouts, right? So that means the sportsbooks believe that the under is much more likely to hit. But that doesn't matter on PrizePicks, again, because they're not varying payouts depending on if you select the over or the under. They don't vary payouts. So regardless, this is a very profitable player prop on PrizePicks. So you want to look for this, right? You need to, as a DFS player, you need to be looking for value in the lines on PrizePicks. And you want to be comparing the lines on PrizePicks to the more efficient betting markets, the sportsbooks, especially this OddsJam column, which is real-time odds from Pinnacle Sportsbook, which is the sharpest, most efficient betting market, right? So all the sportsbooks are pricing this, the under heavily juiced, more so on DraftKings and Caesars than Pinnacle and FanDuel, but we can see they're all heavily juicing the under. So all the sportsbooks believe the under is much more likely to hit, right? And that's why PrizePicks is such a fascinating platform, right? They give you minus 137 implied odds on any player prop. And that's crazy, right? That's literally crazy because the over and under aren't always equally likely to hit, so they should be priced differently, like what the sportsbooks do. But regardless, you want to look for these inefficiencies where sportsbooks are heavily juicing the under, minus 170, minus 180, minus 190, whatever, and you can pick up minus, the implied price of minus 137 on PrizePicks. That's insane value on PrizePicks. So 1.6% profit margin. You can see, just look for, the circle in bold player props with the PrizePicks logo. Those are all the ones you want to be on, right? And as a sports bettor, it's the same thing. If you want to bet on the WNBA, Sparks first half money line, sharp bet, right? So what we can do is we can take the market from Pinnacle plus 126, minus 170, and put that into a no vig fair odds calculator. So what this calculator does, it's an essential calculator on OddsJam and really important to understand as a DFS player or as a sports bettor. So, read through this text. You can feel free to comment any questions below. Is this takes a sportsbooks market, right? And it removes the vig, removes the juice. So sportsbooks imply win probabilities, for bets through their odds, right? Sportsbooks imply win probabilities through their odds. So Pinnacle is pricing the under at minus 170, the over at plus 126. So obviously the sportsbook thinks the under is much more likely to hit than the over, considering they're giving you plus 126 on the over and minus 170 on the under for Tariq, over under 5.5 strikeouts. So they obviously think the under is more likely to hit. And you can quantify that mathematically, right? You can imagine if they had the odds plus 226 on his, over 5.5 strikeouts and minus 270 as opposed to plus 126 and minus 170, in that case, they'd think the under is even more likely to hit, right? Sportsbooks obviously imply things through their odds. If a fighter is minus 1,000 odds in the UFC, that fighter is like 90% to win, right? You're only betting 100 to win 10. So based on the odds, you can imply that that fighter's very, very, a very big favorite. And you can quantify this mathematically with a zero vig odds calculator. So long story short, we see this player prop on PrizePicks is hitting at a rate of 58.73%, according to the sharpest bookmaker in the world, Pinnacle. And again, you need to be hitting player props at 57.74% to break even on PrizePicks. So this PrizePicks prop is profitable. So I found two positive EV props. I locked them both in. I won't dwell on it too much. Neither of these props had super high EV. They were both like 1.6%. But I'm on Brandon Woodruff over 6.5 strikeouts, and then I'm fading Tariq under 5.5 strikeouts. Hopefully we can keep this winning train going. This was freaking crushed it. Tennis, frustrating as usual, but, absolutely been crushing the MLB lately. So hopefully you can, get in with us, tail this, and let's make some money on PrizePicks. Any questions you have, book a call with us, comment them below. Our only job is, why I love my job, just to help DFS players, sports bettors, make more money. So let's do it.